Welcome to the Dogs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Reneker, Justin Charles, and Josh All.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Dogs Podcast presented by Omaha Stakes. Josh All, Justin Charles, and Kenny Mack from Canada with you guys today. Blake we don't really know what Blake had. Blake's just not here. So it is the three of us. We are coming to you guys, and we're going to be talking about news and notes from training camp this past week. Well, actually, this current week at the Greenbrier. They started Friday or Saturday out there, and they took Sunday off, and now they've been back Monday, Tuesday here. So we'll talk about these news and notes. We'll get through some of this stuff, and then we'll go on from there. Want to make sure everybody remembers out there, please subscribe to the channel on YouTube, like the video, tap the notification bell. And if you're listening on audio, please give us a 5-star review on Spotify. A written review on Apple goes a long way in helping out the show. I don't want you guys to think we ask you to do that just for kicks and giggles. It actually does help out the show, and it's a very free way for you guys to just support us, and we really appreciate it because we love doing this show for you, and we just want to make sure we're able to keep doing it, and we plan to. So we've got some big stuff planned here for the summer. I know Kenny, maybe we'll talk real quick about the get together because I want to mention for everybody, head to jointhedogs.com if you want to become an official Dog Pack member on our Patreon page, because first and foremost, fantasy football, we do redraft leagues in our Patreon every year with our crew, and last year we had 5 redraft leagues. Right now, 4 are already filled, so it's starting to fill up. So if you guys are interested in playing fantasy football, you've thought about joining the Dog Pack, but you haven't been sure or anything, now's the time to do it. Get in there, sign up. The registration post is at the top of the page. So once you get in, just throw your name and your email on the registration page and you're good to go. You're in for fantasy. We'll have as many leagues as we can, to accommodate everybody. But again, we want to make sure we get those all filled up so we don't have like some random league with 5 guys in it. So, or gals. We do have some ladies who have come in to play some fantasy football, and it's just been a ton of fun. It's a good group. You get access to the private Discord. We have a lot of fun in there. And if you join the Dog Pack, we do have a get-together that we're putting together on November 2nd. Kenny, do you want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah, it's we're going to get together pre-Chargers game. We want to get together in Berea at Grindstone Grill. That's where the Berea Browns backers meet. It is also their Browns backers bash as well. I want to get as much of you guys out there. Hopefully we can get some alumni out there. We can get having some fun. There's a band going on at 8:00. Can have a couple pints, hopefully talk about a Buckeye win over Penn State that day, and we'll have much, much more. Usually when these things go on, there's raffles, there's other different type of Browns things going on. So it's always a good time at a Browns backers event, and stay tuned.
Yeah, so if you guys if you're able to make it there, we'll be talking about it more as we get closer as well throughout the first part of the season, but we'll probably do some podcasting from there, some video recording for the show and all kinds of stuff. So plans are still in process, but that is the date, those are the times, and that is the place. So at least we have the big things figured out. All the other details, we get to figure those out along the way, and that'll be fun. So again, jointhedogs.com. If you're interested, if you want to play fantasy, you want to get together with us, be in the Discord talking to Browns fans from around the world all the time. I mean, that thing runs 24/7, jointhedogs.com. So the Browns, like I said, training camp kicking it off in Greenbrier, West Virginia this year, just like they did last year. That worked out pretty well for them in 2023. We talked about it last week. I think this is a really nice move by Kevin Stefanski. The weather has been a little less than ideal for the Browns, though. So far out there, seems to be raining or storming every day for the most part. They're scheduled to practice in the morning. Today they had to move it to the afternoon. The other day it was the afternoon. They had to move it early in the morning, like really early, so they could get out there before the rains came in. But I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, am I making too much of it to think that a little adversity here in the first week of training camp might not be a bad thing?
You're just building character. Go ahead, Kenny. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Brother.
I mean, I've noticed a lot of people commenting that the Browns aren't getting what they want out of the training camp for specific times. I don't think it really matters as long as they're getting out in the practice field, and a little bit of surprise doesn't hurt anybody. Getting ready mentally on the last minute might be good for this year too. Now, if they're always being relegated to special teams, which I have heard and I don't know is true, maybe that might be a little bit not as good. But to the reverse of that point, special teams is going to be tough this year. Everybody's starting from scratch. So if they're putting a lot of stuff into special teams, I'm okay with that, man. Let's see who thrives there and then go from there.
I agree, especially like with the new kickoff. I think they are literally figuring it out on the fly right now. And this is all NFL teams. For me, I don't think it's really a big deal. This is a little character building. You know what I mean? They're out there. They're getting rapport. They're building chemistry. They're spending like pretty much every second with each other. So, a little, like Kenny said, a little adversity. I don't think it's a bad thing.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. And that was a great point you just made, Justin. Like, they're spending every minute with each other out there. And that, more so than the football training on the field, the whole point of taking, your entire operation out to a remote location for the first week of training camp is not for the football stuff. It's for the off the field stuff. It's for the get to know your teammates, the brotherhood, all that kind of stuff. The football thing, we got the rest of the summer and training camp preseason to focus on what's going on the field. So a little bit of rain here and there. These guys are together. They're getting to know each other. That's the important thing. I think it's interesting. There's no indoor practice facility there. So I wonder if something ends up getting put in, if this is going to be a place that the Browns or some other team is going to utilize year after year,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they advertise themselves as an athletic facility, so get something for the inside then, because it's not affecting the other teams. Apparently, everybody has something else, so that's where the big hubbub is, I guess.
Yeah, and when the Browns get back to Berea, I mean, they've got an indoor facility, so the weather's not an issue. I mean, like you said, all the teams do. Did you guys think it was kind of funny that today they get the storms and everything? They got to shift around practices. Yesterday they had to shift around practice a little bit to the rain. And then Andrew Berry's asked about the new stadium preference. And I believe he's the first, all the reports that he's the first person in the Browns organization administration side to come out and say that he prefers the dome option for the new build in Cleveland.
Yeah, I noticed that he said that if I was a general manager and I had all my athletes, my top 52 or 54, and I want them to perform the best they possibly can, then I basically want the elements not a part of it. True. That's plain and simple. And I think that's where he was coming from with that statement. And there's not really any more to read into it than that.
I completely agree with you, man. You wanna see Blake's real big on this. Why would you have all this talent and then you can't even utilize the talent because it's too muddy or it's too rainy or I'm not surprised.
No, yeah, me either.
And you know what the biggest thing is I'm getting older. I don't want to sit out in the elements anymore.
And if Kenny Mack is saying that,
yeah. Yep. Yeah, I can handle it for the tailgating, but then there's been a couple games in the past 2 years where I'm like, man, oh man, and I don't go as much as Justin does. Yeah, he's there all the time, man.
It's brutal, man.
Justin, how much nicer would a dome be for your experience?
I definitely wouldn't be building as much character. I wouldn't be as tough. I wouldn't be like Rain at Greenbrier. I would be on the other end of it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Isn't that ultimately like the goal? Like as a fan, if I'm, it doesn't matter to me. Like for me, it's the experience. It's it's going up and the memories, and it's your team and all that stuff. But would it be great to go up there and not have to wear 2 coats and a hoodie and 8 layers and toe warmers and all that stuff? Of course, it'd be nice to sit in a climate controlled dome. But either way, I'm in either way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you because, we talk about late in the season, when it gets cold and snowy and, all that kind of stuff. I mean, week 1 last year, we went up to the game and it rained the entire time. And I know I sat with Blake, and if our seats had not been under the overhang, it would have been totally miserable. Just a complete crap show of a game because everybody was soaked. I remember going to the bathroom and just walking past people that were just drenched. And I'm thinking, oh, boy, I'm so glad I'm under the the overhang. But yeah, so it would just eliminate that from everything.
Oh, we were even there. Remember, just in the last Chargers game, it was midge fly season.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
Nice.
like Nat's never experienced anything like that. She was like, what is going on here? We got the exact same thing on the other side of the lake, just so you know.
Okay,
and so I'm used to that kind of thing, like breathing in midge flies and they're all over you and that kind of thing. But yeah, that was wild. I can't believe the Charger players didn't run out of here.
I was talking shit because the person in front of me, they were all over the back of their coat, and I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. This is like, she has no idea how bad this is. And then I took my coat off and I was like, oh my God,
yeah,
it is this bad. They're everywhere. It's no joke.
I definitely got some midge standing in my Chubb jersey. It ain't coming out.
For sure. Yeah, it becomes part of the uniform, man.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty much all but decided at this point. The Browns are going to be building the new dome in Brook Park. So it's exciting. I'm very, very pumped to see what that all comes out. It's going to be a very exciting time for, Cleveland Browns fans. I mean, all these other teams, you see them on TV, the Rams, you go to Las Vegas and Minnesota's new stadium. Like you see these domes and it's like, man, they got a very, very nice stadium here and we're about to have that too. So pretty cool.
Good.
Couple guys just to mention here. Jerome Ford absent for the first practice or two. He was out for a personal reason, not an injury. And it turns out he missed the first couple days training camp because he had a baby. So
yeah,
congrats to Jerome Ford.
Congrats to Mr. Ford.
Absolutely.
Nice.
So whenever I first saw the report that he was missing the first day or two of camp, I was like, oh crap, are you kidding me? And then it was a personal reason. And then I thought, because you never know what personal reason means.
Right.
And then I think it was Kevin Stefanski said, but he's going to have some really good news to share when he comes back. And I was like, oh, he's having a baby. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And it came out today that, he had a baby. So good for him. Apparently, I missed this one, but Mike Hall Jr. and Dwan Jones were not at practice yesterday, or they weren't on the field. I don't know if they were nursing some sort of small injury, but they were supposed to be back today. I didn't catch if they actually were, but that was the plan.
So, yeah, I didn't see that.
I did not like seeing Dwan Jones' name in there, considering that our other two starting tackles are currently on the PUP.
Yeah, that's not a good situation. We don't want to be in last year's situation again.
No.
Like, we need these guys healthy and ready to go.
We do. And, talking about the offensive line, I mean, Brian Allen, the backup center that we signed in free agency, very excited about him just bringing some good veteran depth and, a little more stability to that second unit in case we needed him to come in for a game or two to start because something happened to Posick or one of the guards he could play guard to. And now he is on IR with a calf injury. And I was trying to figure out the whole rules with IR and all that kind of stuff. And it's so confusing. But from what I gathered, the Browns could designate him to return prior to the cut down at the end of training camp. So then they would have, I forget how much time to decide when that return might be. Or if they do not designate him for return, then he'll miss the season.
Oof.
So that could be a big blow.
That's a huge blow, especially you pretty much said it. We're talking about championship pedigree, experience, depth. At a position, a unit that for years now has struggled with that. Just to stay healthy. So that would be I would say a huge loss. Just depth wise over the year if that is the case.
Yeah, we don't want 2000. I believe it was 22 where we lost. Posick for a bit, and then we had I can't remember his last name. I think it was Froholt. We had him playing in. Oh man, that offense suffered big time, man, when he was out. So we definitely need something going on there. Hopefully, Whippler's up to the task.
Yeah, and I still think it's funny. A lot of people, obviously, Deshaun Watson didn't play up to snuff that first year in 2022 when he came back, but that was that offensive line you're talking about, where we're playing, whatever his name, Froholt. Backup third string, was he guard at center?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
It was just not ideal whatsoever. So it sucks to see. I was really, really hurt when I saw Brian Allen was on the IR. I'm like, man, that sucks. Like I don't want to see any of these guys go on IR. We know it's going to happen, unfortunately, but it just kind of kills all that, all that hype and we got the depth and all this stuff. They did sign Zach Johnson, offensive lineman. He was a UDFA. I don't have this pulled up, but going off memory, UDFA in 2020. I forget who signed him. He played for like 3 different teams. He's only played one NFL game in his career. Last year was in the UFL with the Birmingham Stallions. And then I think he was named all pro or all UFL or whatever last year. So played well in that league. And, some guys just develop a little longer, a little slower than others. So who knows, maybe he could come in here and be a decent depth piece, but that is kind of who the Browns brought in to kind of offset that injury, unfortunately.
Yeah, another Dakota product. I mean, we got some guys from North Dakota, South Dakota. They seem to be coming in droves for the Brownies.
Yeah, and who am I to judge an offensive lineman before I've actually seen him? Because we did the same thing with Teller. Whenever he first got here, we're like, why Teller? I mean, who's actually going to play what right guard for us? And then he turned to be a Pro Bowler. So we will see how this all shapes up. But just wanted to mention some of those injuries. I talked last week on Friday about Greg Newsome, Dalvin Tomlinson both had surgeries. So teams hoping they can be available by week 1. I don't know. My opinion is don't expect it. I would say be prepared as fans to go into week 1 against Dallas without Newsome and without Dalvin Tomlinson.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with that. When you're having those kind of surgeries, you're going to have at least 2 weeks to mend up, and then you got to get in some kind of shape so you don't get those injuries again.
Yeah.
It's pretty big loss, though. I mean, honestly, for week 1, like heading into, that's not a cupcake game right off the bat. I know we're in Cleveland, but I mean, Dallas has a nice offense, historically. We'll see what they got this year. But just Newsome, kind of like the morale swag guy on that defense, the one that keeps him upbeat. And then Tomlinson that's a huge, huge loss in the middle of the line. If he is out for week 1, that is, you're going to have rotational guys on at both tackle spots then.
For sure. We were so good against the run at home last year. And I think Dalvin Tomlinson was such a big piece of that. So if he's not there week 1, now Dallas's run game this year doesn't scare me with what they have, but it doesn't mean they can't just come out and pound it down the middle if it's there. I think Zeke is still a capable running back. He's not what he used to be, but he can still get yards. And then whoever they have behind him to just, if that's what they want to do, and not having Newsome in the secondary would, you're right, Justin. These are not small things. If they're not there week 1, it's a big deal.
These are not the bench guys. These are
starters.
Starters that play a role.
Yes.
It's just tough.
Yeah, you can say what you want about Dak Prescott, but he gets the job done passing the ball, and you want your top defensive backs in the game while he's playing to shut everybody down.
And we've seen before, whenever one of our corners is out, one of our top 3 guys, the other guys at points in the game tend to get a little bit played out of position. And that's what happened, when we didn't have, was it Ward or whoever?
Ward.
And when Newsome's played out of position, he's not as effective. It happens to all 3 of these guys. So hopefully we can get him back. But like you said, Kenny, how much time does he need to get back into football shape to be ready to play in a real game? So we'll see.
Especially a hamstring, man. Those things seem to dog guys forever.
But luckily he got surgery on it. So he got it corrected. It's just now recovering from the surgery. So we'll see. Hopefully that helped. So I think as far as injuries, I saw that Cam Mitchell had been out for like the first 4 days of camp, but now he's back. So again, I said this on Twitter the other day. I said, this is why you draft a corner every freaking draft. Because you just can't never have enough of these guys. It's why picking up Newsome's 5th-year option was the right move, because you just can't have enough of these guys who can come out there and play. We're going to need them all.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I guess really the last big thing I wanted to talk about, saved it for last, Deshaun Watson. This episode is brought to you by Omaha Stakes. Dog Pack, the summer's in full swing, and you guys know what that means. Omaha Stakes annual Hotter Than Fire sale. Go to omahasteaks.com right now, and for a limited time, you guys can get Big savings on great packages from Omaha Steaks for just $99. Plus, you guys can get an extra $10 off that order with promo code DAWGS, DAWGS, at checkout. So these packages with that promo code are essentially $89. From exquisite steaks to legendary burgers, the premium pork, the air-chilled chicken, the meatballs, the chicken wings, the appetizers, the ready-to-eat meals, the wine, everything that Omaha Steaks has to offer. Head over there today, check it out. Shop the Hotter Than Fire sale to get these exclusive savings on the mouthwatering packages that start at just $99 plus. Use that code DAWGS, DAWGS, when you check out for an extra $10 off your order. But hurry, because this sale is only available for a limited time. Summer always flies by, and this deal is going to fly by, so you're not going to want to miss it. Go shop today, omahasteaks.com. Use promo code DAWGS at checkout for an extra $10 off your order. This episode is brought to you by Bodden Sports. Browns fans, Bodden Sports is your one-stop shop for all your athletic gear. Bodden started out perfecting and manufacturing the best balls in the business. Yeah, if that sounded dirty, that's more about your mind than my words. But hey, it's true. Baseballs, softballs, footballs, basketballs, volleyballs, soccer balls, you name it, and Bodden has engineered the highest standard sports balls available. And now they offer more than just sports balls. If you got kids playing baseball or softball, Bodden has batting gloves and bats to go along with both game balls and training balls. If you're into basketball, Bodden makes basketball specifically for indoor or outdoor use. Heck, Bodden even has all the equipment you need for pickleball, which is one sport that I hear everyone is playing, and yet I still never have. And I need to fix that soon. But don't miss the backyard games section of Bodden's website, where you can order everything you need for this upcoming outdoor season. Pool balls, backyard volleyball nets, croquet, bocce, horseshoes, cornhole, and more. Right now, you can get 10% off your entire order at Bodden Sports, BADEN sports.com/dogs, DAWGS, and use promo code DAWGS when you check out. That's 10% off all the top quality sporting gear you need this season. BoddenSports.com/dogs. Deshaun Watson. He's going to be the talk of camp. He's going to be the talk of the season. He's going to be the talk of everything surrounding Cleveland Browns for as long as he's here. It's just the way it's going to be. And, you know, whenever he was coming back from his shoulder surgery and he was throwing every other day in the OTAs, you know, the speculation was, yeah, he's going to throw, but we're going to take it easy with him in training camp. We'll see how it goes. He might be on a pitch count, all that kind of stuff. The dude has been out there every day, pretty much every rep, throwing the ball. And from what I've heard from everybody, he looks good. I mean, yeah. Even the kicker for me was today when Tony Grossi, the biggest Deshaun Watson detractor, hater, doubter out there, said that we need to. I think his quote was, "We need to stop scrutinizing every single pass he throws in camp because honestly, he's looked pretty good," and that was huge.
Yeah. I saw that you guys posted that today. I almost fell off my chair when I saw that. I had to double check that you wrote Tony Grossi on that because he is such a Browns hater. I still don't know why he covers the team. But, I mean, for him to say something like that is unreal. Deshaun has looked good. I mean, I only have amateur eyes, and I look at him throw the ball. Number one, they're on the money. They have velocity. I feel like in the footage that I have seen that he is adjusting his throws according to where the guys are on the field versus going through mechanics and going through the motion and not really making a good throw, if that makes sense. So I like how he has, I guess in a long way I'm saying I like the touch that he has, but I feel like his throws are almost adjusted a little bit, kind of like, from what I've seen, like Patrick Mahomes, where he's almost kind of side-arming, but he's getting it there, right in the breadbasket.
I think that just going into this year, he just kind of looks different. Like, just looks way more, we've talked about it a bunch, but just way more comfortable. And I think, you know, there's something to be said about, you know, the new offense. I think that's put some comfort level for him. And then just like on the mental side of things, I think like he's just come in with a different mindset this year. And you know, hopefully wheels up, because like we go as far as he goes, you know, like obviously the defense is great and stuff like that. But if, as you know, an organization, if the goals that are going to get accomplished that we want and the team wants, I think that he's got to play well. And I think there's no problem with, he should be able to just come back to that form again.
Oh yeah, especially with an offensive coordinator that, wants to throw the ball first. I mean, when Ken Dorsey was with the Buffalo Bills, they pretty much led the league in first down attempts for passing. They were 4th overall or 5th overall for first and second down attempts passing. Like, he has a pitch count almost for points he wants to score per minute. And if you're a quarterback, you got to be excited hearing that. It means the ball is in your hand. If your college coach called you the Michael Jordan of the NCAA football, you have to be excited about that. And you could tell when you guys interviewed him, he was excited. I think he pretty much paraphrased that.
Yeah, I liked his answer too, because he just kind of had the little grin, the nod, like, you guys are gonna like this. Trying to keep it cool, but you could see there was excitement there. I just wanted to mention, at the end of Monday, there was I don't know if you guys saw the Twitter shitstorm, because Deshaun Watson's last throw of the day was a kind of like a short pass. He was thrown toward a net, kind of hit the turf in front of the net, skipped into the net, and then he ended up leaving the field after that throw. He left before the other quarterbacks. Mary Kay reported it. Twitter went nuts saying, oh, he's toast, he's done, he's hurt, all this kind of stuff. And then Kevin immediately said, he's fine, he's going to throw tomorrow, no concerns. I mean, Quincy Avery on Twitter was saying, guys, he's 100% fine, like, nothing to worry about. And then obviously today he was out there throwing.
I mean, I didn't see it, but what? Like, did he just, maybe the ball just skipped out of his hand? Or
it was raining all day, it was wet, who knows? I don't know. Maybe, and who knows? Yeah. Maybe the shoulder is sore a little.
I mean, if you throw it enough, it will be, for sure.
Or maybe we're just in the middle of the off season, just everybody's just kind of bored. Yeah. Maybe it's that. Maybe like what? We're really just over. I think we're just overanalyzing it too much. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter.
I think.
Well, I mean, they've basically said, like, the Browns have, this is the least amount of news that you could report ever on the Cleveland Browns. It's not that it's buttoned up tight. It's just there's nothing to report.
No drama.
They got the players on the team. The guys are, ready to work. Their tasks at hand. And you just said it. There's no drama.
We are finally
carrying on Winfrey's.
Yeah, right. We're doing all the things that good NFL teams and franchises do. And a lot of our media and a lot of our fan base can't handle it. They need the drama. Really? They're like, well, yeah, man. I need a quarterback controversy. There's always been one. Like, guys, just sit back and enjoy this freaking ride. It's going to be a good one as long as everybody stays healthy. I think injury is what can derail this team this year. Everything else is in place, and we're seeing it play out on the field. If Deshaun ends up taking a day or two off during training camp, don't freak out. Got to remember, the guy is still coming back from major shoulder surgery. So the fact that he's been out there from day one of voluntary minicamp, throwing the ball with that new repaired shoulder. He's been out there every day of this training camp, throwing the ball with pads and 7-on-7s, the 11-on-11s, everything. Like, he's obviously doing just fine. Now, like you said, Kenny, maybe it will he's still coming back from it, so he might need a little more time to recoup than a normal quarterback after a couple of days of throwing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, well, that was pretty much everything I wanted to get into from training camp so far. I mean, one last thing, I guess, real quick. They talked about Mike Vrabel. They said that he will not have a game day role, that, he's kind of there for the preparation during the week and everything, but during the games on Sundays, he's not going to be on the sideline or anything, which, whatever. I think that his impact, you talked about the impact of Ken Dorsey on Deshaun Watson. I think Ken Dorsey, Jameis Winston, and Mike Vrabel, 3 huge pieces to this team, this offense specifically, that we don't talk about enough.
Did you hear or see what he said on? I mean, what was it? Off the record, or he said what his roles are that he's doing right now?
I did not.
I saw, was it tight end, and he was working with the tight ends and maybe the linebackers. Am I right there?
So that's correct. So okay. He's helping with the linebackers, but he's helping Tommy Rees acclimate to becoming a coach in the NFL, and he's working a lot with the tight ends, from what I understand. He also is letting Stefanski, like he's Stefanski's second set of eyes, and he's reporting to Stefanski at the end of the day. He is also, from what he said, he's doing specific projects for the Haslams and for Andrew Berry as well. So whatever that means.
Well, what a resource to have. I mean,
Right.
just such a well-respected, coach in the NFL. I mean, a former awesome player, all that kind of stuff. Just to have him on the field with these guys right now, out there in the Greenbrier during training camp. I mean, you see him racing Jameis Winston up and down the field and stuff. Like, he's just a very hands-on guy. He's out there. I saw the videos with him and David and Joku, and it's just every time I see a video or a photo with Mike Vrabel in it, I'm just like, yes, I love that we have this guy.
Well, but specific to what you said about Jameis and him, like those guys are lightning in a bottle, man. Like, all the players have commented on the energy that those two bring to the field, and that's super important with what you said about Newsome not being there. You know what I mean? So I like the fact that he's there, and I think also I couldn't agree more. What a great resource to have.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of crazy to think about, but I mean, we're already 2 weeks into training camp. I'm sorry. By the end of this week, we'll be 2 weeks, about a week and a half into training camp. Next Saturday on August 10th, we got a preseason
Green
game.
Bay.
Green Bay already.
I mean, we have football on Thursday. The Hall of Fame game is.
Oh, you're right. Yes.
In 2 days. I mean, Hall of Fame kicks off this weekend in beautiful Canton, Ohio.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I know we were all over that last year because of Joe Thomas and the Browns playing and everything.
Yeah.
We were up there for all that stuff. We're not going to be this year, but yeah, we get football. It's here. I mean, it's so awesome. Just pray. I said this on the last episode, if you guys are not throwing in just a quick little, tidbit in your nightly prayers to keep the Browns healthy, you're missing out. You need to get that in there because we got to keep this team healthy. We really do.
Oh yeah, man. I'm putting it out in the universe every day, buddy. Every day.
Speaking into an existence.
Yeah.
So
You know it.
is there anything else from training camp? Any other storylines, news notes, things you guys wanted to touch on?
The only thing that news to me was that Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans did this previously. So I'm kind of wondering, since Deshaun came here, if this was a Deshaun idea. It was collaborated with Stefanski. It was a Stefanski idea. I was under the impression it was the coach's idea, but I just assumed that. I haven't read that for certain, but I found it interesting that Deshaun and the Texans have done it before.
You mean like going out to, was it Greenbrier specifically or just to a remote location?
Greenbrier specifically.
Okay. That's cool. I didn't know that. I did not hear that.
I do have. Go ahead, Kenny. Sorry.
That was a Nathan Segura special.
Oh, cool. Good old Nate. What do you got, Justin?
I have one little interesting thing. I don't know if you guys saw it floating around, but did you guys see it was like a fan-made division realignment?
Yes.
You guys got any of that?
Oh,
Yes, I saw that.
I did, but you'll have to go into it because I thought it was interesting.
Cleveland's division, we go from probably the hardest division in football right now to arguably probably still the hardest football division. It was us, Pittsburgh, which is, it's a division rivalry, Buffalo, and who's the other one? There was one more.
Detroit.
It was Detroit.
We were the Great Lakes East.
Great Lakes East, yes, that's it. Great Lakes East, yeah, that was it. So I thought that, no favors done there,
No, same difference. 4 quarters for $1.
Oh, we got rid of Lamar Jackson, but you gave us Josh Allen. Thanks.
Yeah.
We'll remember that.
We got rid of the
Thanks,
Bengals
guys.
with Joe Burrow, but we got the Lions with everything they have.
Everybody, with
Yeah, I thought that was interesting, and I was looking over that graphic, and I was like, this actually kind of makes sense. Like, all these teams are geographically located around each other, and I thought it was cool that it was like Great Lakes East, Great Lakes West, which was Chicago, Indianapolis, Minnesota, and I can't remember who the other one was, but yeah, Green Bay. Green Bay.
Okay, yeah. I just thought that was interesting, and I was like, oh yeah, no favors done there. Which is worse, the AFC North or the Great Lakes East? Which one's tougher to win right now?
Yeah.
That's very, very true. I mean, it just sucks we got to keep Pittsburgh either way.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Twice
Just
a
get
year.
rid of them.
I'd actually rather just not see Lamar. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good with Ravens fan not being part of it. See you later.
So, I mean, I guess real quick, since we kind of went through all the news and everything we wanted to get through, just looking ahead at the season, I know if you look in the years past, we have faced Justin Fields twice. When he was with Chicago, we just completely destroyed him. 5 sacks. I don't know if they had a positive passing yard in that game or whatever collectively as a team. And then last year, held them to 3 points. They only got their 14 points off turnovers and a pick 6 and all that kind of stuff. Right. So I'm seeing, obviously, Russell Wilson has been out for Pittsburgh in their training camp. He's got is it calf for him too? Calf injury, I think.
Calf. Yep.
Yeah.
And I thought I saw somebody report that it
on
wasn't
the pushing sled.
Yeah, he tweets it on the sled. Yeah, absolutely. That's true. Yep.
Okay. So Justin Fields has been out there taking all the first team reps and all that kind of stuff. And he hasn't looked bad. I've been hearing reports that he's actually kind of impressing and could actually, I mean, there's a lot of beat reporters that did not think he was going to push Russell Wilson, at least to begin the season, for that QB1 spot. Now that narrative's kind of changing a little bit. So, I mean, not that I give a whole lot of crap about what the Steelers do, but do you guys have a preference on who you want to face when they come to town? Do you want to be playing against Russell? Justin? Don't care?
I think still Justin Fields, honestly. And his athleticism is terrifying, especially, like having to face that twice a year. I just don't know about his vision downfield. And I know Russell Wilson has looked on and off here with Denver, but that dude is a general and he can still do it. I kind of look for this to be kind of like a bounce back for Russell Wilson. They could be super dangerous, but I'd still rather take Fields.
I would have to agree based on the fact that we've never beat Russell Wilson, so I don't want to see him. And I also would agree with Justin just based on what I've read. The offensive coach, who was their offensive coordinator for the Bears last year?
Luke Getsy.
Yeah, so they would run specific plays for him, and they had to be really dumbed down. Like Justin was saying, because he just wasn't picking the right man. And I think from what they were saying, he was just locking in on a guy, not reading the defense. Right. So ultimately with our secondary and our defensive line, ding, 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 we got a winner. Yeah. Let's take Justin Fields. But I agree. He is a super athlete. If he figures it out, either way, it's then it would be pick your poison. But I mean, if Russell's getting injured on the sled, maybe we'll take him, and we'll be seeing Justin anyway. So,
sure,
yeah,
it's good.
Honestly, I mean, and we talked about that. We just did our fantasy football podcast. I mean, Roman Wilson went off today, carted off with an ankle injury, so they don't have a whole lot of receiving options anyway. With Arthur Smith, they're going to want to run the ball, which. That kind of play, I mean, we were very good against the run last year, which is different from Cleveland defenses in years past. So that kind of plays into our favor. And then I don't really have any news and notes from like Ravens or Bengals that I've really seen.
Joe Burrow got a new haircut. That's about it.
Slim Shady.
That's the most that we could get from Bengals fans. That's all I heard about.
Yep. If you guys are, I think, Justin, I think we did this last week on the fantasy pod. If you guys are not using Sleeper, not a sponsor, but if you're not using Sleeper for your fantasy leagues, you guys are missing out on a good time. First of all, it's just the best app.
Yeah.
And they changed people's profile picture. Like last year, they changed Travis Kelce's profile picture to Taylor Swift for a while. And now they've got Joe Burrow's profile picture is young, bleach blonde Eminem. And it's just hilarious because if you're just kind of glancing through, you might not even notice.
Real Slim Shady style.
Yeah.
Those days.
It was cracking me up when I saw that. So that's good stuff. But other than that, not a whole lot going on AFC North-wise so far. Tough division.
Bengals still practicing under the highway, and we don't need to know about the Ravens because we got Aaron Butler, I'm sure, in the comments at some point. He'll let us know.
Yep. Yep. He'll tell us, everybody, this player lost 3 pounds last week. This one took a huge dump. Whatever. He's got it all.
Don't worry about Lamar. It's just a flu.
Yeah.
He'll be fine. He'll be back out there next week.
Yep. So, all right. Well, if there's nothing else to talk about, we'll go ahead and wrap this one up. A little shorter than normal, but training camp just kind of getting underway. We don't have a ton of reports yet. Once they get back in the area and we do like the joint practices, I think we're doing that with the Packers, right? Before the game. Is it the Packers? Or the Vikings?
I don't know.
No, we're not doing it with the Packers. I think it's the Vikings.
Vikings. Okay, so the Vikings, that would be the following, not next week, but the following week.
Because I'll be at training camp, and I don't think they would do a training camp session with before the Packers game with the Packers involved and having people there.
Correct.
I don't think that would happen.
Okay.
And then they would have to do it before or after. It'd be a lot to fit in. So I would assume it would be the following week because I think there's a gap in the training camp schedule. But anybody who's going to the Packers game, this guy's going to be there. So come on out because this guy's also turning 49 years old on that day.
Oh,
man. My birthday. Yeah. Bam.
Well, I'll celebrate with you, dog. I'll come have a celebration beverage with you.
Oh, yeah.
Celebration of life. One more year.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll do 2. We'll see.
Okay. Don't twist my arm. Okay.
All right. Well, hey, we appreciate everybody tuning in, checking out the show again this week. We will be posting more updates, obviously, on Twitter and everywhere else. So follow us on the socials at the Dogs Podcast. Stay up to date with everything that's going on at Browns training camp, going into next week, and then the first preseason game. So we'll be actually doing our first game preview next week. I don't know. You guys, Justin, you ready for that? We're there,
the first
man.
game, I guess so. We're there.
Yeah. That means we'll do a game recap and another preview. And football is underway.
Woo-hoo!
So
and we're there.
We are there. It's been a while. We've been doing so much prepping for this, but we're just so excited to be here. So make sure you guys, again, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it everywhere. We appreciate all your help. Tap that notification bell. And again, if you want to hang out more with us and you want opportunities to get together and just do some cool things in the future, you want to play fantasy football with us and all that kind of stuff, join the private Discord. Go to jointhedogs.com, become an official Dog Pack member on the Patreon. You get a 7-day free trial. Admittedly, I don't really know what all you can do with the free trial because I obviously have never done the free trial. I'm in there, so I don't know. Somebody give us some feedback on that. But, you kind of get a taste of what's going on in the Patreon, what we're posting, and then sign up for fantasy football. We'll get you into a league. We'll send out all those details when we get everything divvied up. So I think you have until August 23rd to get in there, get registered. And again, if you get in now and you register, you're guaranteed to be in a league. If you get in on August 22nd and you try to register, we'll do our best. No guarantees. How's that? So get in now. But we appreciate everybody tuning in again. Kenny, thanks for jumping on tonight, filling in for Blake. We appreciate it.
Absolutely, bro.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure, boys. Love talking with brownies.
Everybody in the comments, hold Blake accountable, ask him where he's been and what he's doing and what could possibly be more important than getting on the podcast with us. So we appreciate everybody again tuning in, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Go Browns.
Go Brownies.
Go Browns.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dogs Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at the Dogs Podcast. Get your thoughts on the show at thedogspodcast.com.
This episode is brought to you by Danger Coffee. Browns fans, we talk about how Danger Coffee is made free from mold toxins that are in 45% of the world's coffee, but that's not all that Danger Coffee has to offer. Mineral and nutrient deficiencies are a big deal. They make you feel sick, tired, stressed, and they can give you brain fog. These deficiencies negatively affect your immune system, your digestion, sleep, metabolism. Have you ever wondered why you get an initial burst from your coffee, but then you get that little crash not long after? Danger Coffee's patent-pending process remineralizes your body with more than 50 trace minerals and electrolytes, leaving you more energized, engaged, powerful. These micronutrients enter the cells to boost performance. They bind to toxins to provide detoxification support. I know that sounds like a lot, but the bottom line, guys, is minerals matter, and most of us really don't get enough of them on a daily basis. Danger Coffee delivers micronutrients, plus it gives you access to the minerals you already have. Head to dangercoffee.com, use our code DAWGS, DAWGS, for 10% off your order. And that code can be used over and over. So you get 10% off every order you make using code DAWGS. It's time to start every day off with a cup of coffee that gets you going and actually keeps you going. Dangercoffee.com, code DAWGS.